Hello, welcome back to Open. Rhina Valentin here, keeping BOAZ. That's right. If it's God ordained, make it God maintained. That's right. That's a new book by Charles E. Davies, and it tells the story of Ruth, a character in the Bible, as she moves through her relationships and provides insight into struggles adults face, in relationships. Yeah, the author Charles E. Davies is a doctoral student and joins us in the studio right now. And welcome to the show, and thank you for coming through.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So let's start with the title itself, Keeping BOAZ.
Keeping BOAZ, yes. BOAZ has been traditionally what Christian ladies used to, as an example of God's providential care. And usually singles say, well, we're waiting for the Lord to send us our BOAZ. Because in the Bible, Ruth actually was struggling, and then she finally met this rich man, this wealthy man, who actually provided for her later in life. And so a lot of single ladies are saying, I'm waiting for the Lord to send me my BOAZ. But BOAZ is, again, an example of God's providential care. So, but there are a lot of magazines and books out there telling you how to attract a man, but not a whole lot telling you how to keep him. So this is about keeping the man, keeping God's providential care in your life, that blessing that God has given you.
What's really interesting is that you've chosen as an author to write in the voice of women.
Yes.
That's very interesting.
Yes.
How were you able to pretty much speak as a woman, as if though you're a woman in what a woman needs from a man?
Well, I grew up around a lot of ladies at the home, and my father was really busy most of the time, so it was just me and my sisters and my mom. So I've been around ladies wherever I find myself. I'm always around a bunch of ladies. Even coming up in life, I'm always around a bunch of ladies. So in terms of putting myself in their perspective, I've been able to do that. And one thing my mom always taught me was always put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Where's the person coming from? Always try to be an example and try to put yourself in somebody else's shoes again, and always just try to be empathetic to what someone is going through. So that is another thing that helps me out. And then just writing in the third person or first person is just out of.
Now, is the woman that you wrote about that has the two sons?
Yes.
We won't give too much away because obviously you really need to read the book. And would you say she's similar to your mom?
No, she's not. What Ruth is in this book, she embodies the every woman. Ruth in the Bible was not really a saved person, a Christian, but she came from the outside of somebody that you say live a secular life, and she moved into this Christianhood or this relationship with God through Naomi. So she embodies the every woman. So everything that ladies go through, she has gone through in the book. In the Bible, she bears a son later, but in this book I try to give her sons out of wedlock. Right. And all the struggles that people go through, she's gone through them. Right.
No, well, I mean, you tapped into domestic violence.
Yes.
You tapped into being a single mom, not by choice, by death, by losing her partner. You tapped into all of the different types of relationships that she's had, even the one that she holds with her two sons, being the epitome of unconditional love, right? However, the loneliness that still occurs in not having that companion of I guess, equality.
Yes. Yes, everything that's from abuse, from those who've gone through domestic abuse and relationships, and to those who've been disappointed by life in terms of death, and those who have struggled along the way just to balance the dating scene and also being in a relationship, or having kids outside of marriage and being in a relationship. So I just tried, again, she embodies every woman, so whatever ladies go through in this life, she has gone through.
You know, I just to share with everyone, what's really interesting about this book is that it's real.
Yes.
It's real. And it's written in a way that it's an easy read. It isn't something that you have to sit there and really hone in on. It is profound. Please, let's not get it mistaken. However, there's something real about like the guide.
Yes.
That's my favorite chapter. There's a chapter in this book in where there's a guide that has been written, which is why I wonder how you're able to write, because it sounds like a woman. I mean, I'm not implying that, you know. Well, but it's very convincing that a woman wrote this.
Yes. Well, these are examples of advice and suggestions that parents and older people around us have given us over the years that we sometimes take for granted. Little things that tend to derail relationships now. For example, not everyone that smiles at you means well for you, so you want to be careful as to who you invite into your home. And when in a relationship, you always want to be careful how you use the word "my," because it has the power to include and also exclude the person in your life. So it's just simple things that we've learned over the years that we take for granted. But then when we enter into these marriage or relationships, we always wonder what went wrong. But it's just the little things along the line.
It's the little mindful things.
Yes.
And so I just wondered if you could share with everyone just a little bit from the guide.
Sure.
Can you, like, just to give them an idea of what we're referencing? Because this is a really, really, this is a nice book to have, to reference when the waters are a little rough.
It is a book of wisdom. It is a book of wisdom in terms of teaching us how to navigate not just romantic relationships, but relationships we have with co-workers, relationships between mother, daughter, just relationships we have with the family. Because the thing about God is He's a God of relationships. You know, He's a God of relationship, and He always tried to bring us together as one. But through worldly affairs and worldly things that tend to distract us, we've fallen short of that. So we can't even maintain the relationships that we have. But sometimes when we say, when we meet somebody that we like or we love, we say, oh, well, wow, this person is from God. This is a God sent. And hence the subtitle, if it's God ordained, make it God maintained. Because we try to help God along the way to inject ourselves into relationships and try to manipulate or scheme or plot just to make things work out the way we want them to work. So this guide is actually just full of wisdom that a mother will pass down to a daughter, or something that will help us in terms of relating to each other.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yes, and it definitely serves that purpose. So thank you so much for writing it. Thank you for coming on air to share this with us. And if people wanted to obtain this book, where would they do so? And please share with everyone your book release information for tomorrow. Okay.
Yes, it's on Amazon. You can get it off of Amazon, Amazon.com. It's called Keeping BOAZ. And the author, Charles Davis again. And it's called Keeping BOAZ. And it's on Amazon.com. You can get that. And tomorrow I'll be at NYU. I'm having a discussion and book signing events going on at NYU.
Yeah, and that's happening between 1 and 2:30 p.m.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
And I highly recommend that. You actually go check this out, because
it is a great read. It is a great read.
It is a great read, yes. And I'm very grateful to you, for bringing this to us and for being here with us to share it. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, so once again, look out for more on Charles E. Davies and the book, Keeping BOAZ. If it's God ordained, make it God maintained. And they're also on Facebook, so you can go to facebook.com/keepingboaz.